Fernando Rey.
Ah, yes. Yes, well, the policy. You, musician par excellence, yes? See? Yeah. Is, first we have to look after musicians. That is first. There is no going back from austerity. We have to all make sacrifice. First thing we have to do is look after refugee camps in Europe so that we can preserve the stately rest of the immigration that for the already inhabitants of their own lands, we have to protect them also. We know that in the Mediterranean, the Prime Minister is also hoping that the HMS Richmond will preserve some of the peace, and where there was going to be some calamity, absolute calamity. Yes, I know it is terribly. So I hope they will be able to sustain the new era of provision for the refugees. That by the time we are working on the next, they are working, and Parliament, they tell you, some of this is total lie. It really worries me that the working in the Parliament, they tell you that for the December new council, that the plans for the financing office are now in the hands of the House of Lords. It is absolutely piffle that the hands of the new council, or the price of it, is all in the hands of each and every citizen of this country, who, I assure you, will be paying for it. But we come to the question of music.
We come to the question of music, and your beautiful singing voice, which is new to this era of music. Well,
well, you are asking someone who is very biased, someone who has met the great Charlie Chester.
Introduced to him
when I was a small girl.
Right.
And he has frequented the theatres like a Folkestone.
Folkestone or Margate?
Folkestone, no, I think this was the Folkestone. And this guy, Charlie Chester, people will say, oh, who was Charlie? Never heard of him. No, that is because he was on the BBC.
And it's all changed now.
All life is changing. So we come to why I was a singer, and Charlie, he didn't say, you sing, you go out on stage, you sing. So she sang like Louis Singer is my stage name, because people always said, well, pal, you look like a boy, why don't you sing like a boy? So I go out and let them girls listen to me.
So, hopefully, we prove that there is some essence of concert pitch, or to put it in musical terms, many of you, I sometimes get questions from you.
Can I tell them that? I sometimes get questions from people who say to me, well, what is, not concert, we don't call concert pianists.
No.
We are piano players. We are piano players, as indeed we are theatre players. They say, well, what is meant by concert pitch? Concert pitch, I say. I am only a singer. You expect me to know about concert pitch? I haven't got a clue. You want to go and ask big doctor philosophy professor who studied at Oxford? You want to go and ask someone who is the daughter of somebody who is working for the Communist Party of like Russia and singing You Make Me Feel So Young in the style of Boris Yeltsin? I could not sing like that. I have to be Louis Singer. I met Charlie, he say, Charlie Chester. He say, you just go out there and sing. You let them have it. So I try that, and this is how without word of a lie, I became so good that I started playing the piano also as part of the act. Then on one occasion I went to say to the public, and I said, can you please pay me now? And he said, no. He said, I thought that you were coming in to accompany me. I said, well, how is that? He said, well, I'm a singer. I said,
You gotta be kidding.
I said, I am a singer also, Louis Singer. I said,
Are you related?
He said, no, I don't think so. He said, but I might be related to Tony Bennett. So I said, well, do you sing anything of Tony Bennett? He said, yeah. He said, I want to be around to pick up the pieces when somebody breaks your heart, when somebody twice as smart as me. Now, if you listen to that song by Tony Bennett, hopefully he's not listening. Tony Bennett, when somebody twice as smart as me or as I, is a strange line to have in a song, pleading the innocence that to one's lover, you are basically saying, you have somebody who is smarter than me. How come? How come? How I come to sing, I accompany this, we call him, I make up any name for him, we call him Wally. He was this great barman, great publican. Wally, I forget his name, somewhere like Slough. And Wally, he sing, I'm not kidding you, he make me look idiot. I start with playing much, you know the tune? You look amazed.
Oh, well, not at all. I was just thinking to myself, it's no use to me. I'm tone deaf. What is it?
You call yourself interviewer, and you haven't heard the orchestral theme from the second piano concerto of Sergei Rachmaninoff, and you expect me to be interviewed by you. I suppose you will be telling all the viewers next you are on the talent show.
Oh, well, not at all. So what happened with Mr. Bennett, was it?
No, I call him Wally. Wally started singing, I want to be around to pick up the pieces, so well that all the women were sitting down like musical chairs in the pub, waiting for him just to go and sing to them. How does any piano player sit on anyone's lap? And people say to her, how come you never get married? I say, well, I blame Tony Bennett. It's Tony Bennett that is the main reason why not only Frank Sinatra had tough times, but Louis Singer had the bigger time. And you say to me, well, why am I not more famous than you already know? That is the reason, because of Wally.
So, what Wally achieved for the Rachmaninoff second, he also never achieved for the emancipation of women so much as those whose laps on whose he was
Better think
sitting.
about it now.
And what happened to
Wally? He was working on the harmonics of the tones. You know the tones like Lucia Pavarotti.
It's on a murios disgnata. He's working on the tones. He discovered that the length of the pipe and the harmonic series was going to be in some degree make the greater possibilities for selling a new beer was coming out. And this new beer was, can you beer next? Can you drink to our house, beer? And I was offered a job else. I wouldn't take the one I had from him. I was offered the job at the British Legion. I think which was British Legion, I would rather play for the Monarch Society or the proletariat general meeting of the new Nazi party, in all honesty, than to play for, because this Louis, he asked me to play once Louise, a song which everybody knew, but when I asked him to sing it, he said he didn't know the words. You have to be that clever, don't you? You have to be that clever, as if your name is Wally Bennett. Tony Bennett never even knew how to sing, really. Was he the singing bus conductor? I don't know. With the long story, the singing bus conductor was made famous by one of the great recording artists of his day, who was, I don't know if anybody ever heard of him, can't remember his name,
Not Paramore.
Oh no, Norrie Paramore. He was a trumpet player, he had an orchestra. Mr. Love, Jeff Love, nobody here is Jeff Love, no. Oh, to be her Love, yeah, they have not here Jeff Love, but they hear plenty of Lamore. And this other guy,
Norman
Newell, I think his name, Norman Newell. He was at the time one up-and-coming recording artist, and he could make a dinosaur sound like
an education.
Make me laugh. Why are you laughing?
Oh, not at all. I am just thinking what a marvellous repartee you have talking about the Nazi Party and the British Legion.
Oh yes, so we talk about them later. They would not want me to discuss them. They can sing their own tunes, like Cumrunda and Landovery and England's Green and Pleasant Land, which was probably written by the grandson or a distant relation of the grandson of Queen Victoria. Who, the grandson of Queen Victoria?
No, I don't know. Who was the grandson of Queen Victoria?
The grandson of Queen Victoria was King Wilhelm II of Germany, and his mother was the daughter of Princess Vicky, who was Queen Victoria's daughter. You didn't know that? And you are interviewer. You're interviewing me about how I sing, and you don't know the history of your monarchy. You take her for idiot?
Oh, well, not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. So, I tell him I will not sing next week because I have interview for the plum.